Age brings our hearts many experiences, the ups and downs of emotions, wounds of the soul, and also simple joys. In the long journey of life, the old heart is no longer as passionate and intense as in youth, but it possesses a special depth and maturity. As the years go by, we begin to realize that not every wound needs to be healed with grand actions or flowery words. Sometimes it is the quiet, simple moments that are the magical remedy to soothe and heal the heart. Over the years, people gradually learn to listen to themselves. In quiet afternoons, when the sunlight fades on the porch, the birdsong thins out in the distance, and everything seems to slow down, the weary heart finally has a chance to breathe. These are the moments when we are not swept up in the hectic whirl of work, responsibilities, or the struggles of youth. We are allowed to pause, close our eyes, and let all emotions flow freely without control or resistance. In that silence, many old wounds are suddenly soothed, and deep sorrows vanish like morning dew meeting the new sunlight. As age accumulates, people increasingly understand the value of private moments with no one else but themselves and their memories. It could be an early morning when the wind slips through the old tree branches, the sound of water trickling in the corner of the garden, or simply the ticking of an old clock in the living room. Every sound, every nuance seems to remind that time is still passing and the heart is still alive, still feeling. The pains once thought insurmountable, the losses and disappointments of life, all have a chance to be healed in that very silence. Some say that old age is a time of loneliness, but in fact, it is the most beautiful time for a person to find themselves again. When the busyness has faded away and responsibilities have lessened, we can sit down and face all our emotions. There are no more judgments, no more fear of being hurt. The aging heart is allowed to open to receive, to forgive, and to heal itself. That is when we learn to smile at the past, be grateful for what we have experienced, and accept the imperfections. Quiet moments are not only a time to rest, but also an opportunity for the heart to be reborn. Sitting by the window, watching the rain fall silently, or simply gazing out at a small garden with a few simple flowers, we feel more deeply the story of life. Each raindrop, each petal, is a testament to recovery, the continuous renewal of nature. The heart is the same. No matter how many ups and downs it has experienced, it can still heal and start anew from simple things. Many elderly people often turn to quiet pleasures such as gardening, reading, listening to classical music, or simply enjoying a hot cup of tea in the late afternoon. These activities not only help the body relax, but also provide an opportunity for the soul to be purified. In that tranquility, they easily recall distant memories, loved ones who have passed through their lives, intertwined pains and joys. Each memory that comes back is gentle, no longer as sharp as before, but unusually warm. That is when the heart connects with the past, not to feel sorrow, but to understand, to cherish, and to heal. The healing of an old heart does not come from forgetting, but from acceptance. When given enough time and space to reflect, we realize that everything that has passed has its reason. Losses and wounds are an indispensable part of the soul's journey of growth. In silence, we learn to forgive others and ourselves, learn to let go of things that cannot be changed, and learn to open our hearts to embrace new things, even if they come late. There are people who once thought that the heart after youth would become dry and no longer know how to be moved. But in reality, the older the heart, the more sensitive it becomes, the easier it is to be touched by small things. Have you heard of inquiry, a hand held? A gentle look from grandchildren is enough to warm that heart. In quiet moments, when not disturbed by the outside world, the old heart feels even more clearly the value of family affection, connection, and love. We also begin to understand that healing is not about completely erasing the wounds, but about learning to live with them, making them a part of ourselves. As we age, the old pains no longer scare us because we know that we are strong enough to overcome them. In the silence, the heart rests, recovers, and is strengthened to accompany the days ahead. It can be said that the quiet moments are the priceless gift of old age. It is a time to look back, to reflect, to heal, and to prepare for new journeys, even if they are just simple days spent with family, friends, or oneself. The aging heart, after all, still has the ability to recover, to love, and to feel happiness, as long as it is given the necessary moments of silence. Finally, when looking back on the journey of a lifetime, we realize that an old heart is not weak at all. It is the culmination of countless experiences, countless emotions, and countless times rising up after falling. And in those quiet moments, when all the noise of the world temporarily fades away, that heart is truly healed, revived, and continues to beat with love and gentleness for itself and for all those who pass through its life. When people enter old age, the fluctuations of life seem to settle down, leaving precious moments of silence for the soul. The heart, having experienced countless upheavals and ups and downs, now becomes deeper and slower with each beat. Every morning upon waking, the sound of birds singing outside the porch, the cool breeze slipping through the leaves, the gentle sunlight shining into the room, all become subtle joys that only after passing through half a lifetime can one fully appreciate. The youthful days, full of passion, aspiration, as well as worries and troubles, when looked back upon from the doorstep of old age, suddenly turn into gentle memories. The elderly learn to view everything with a more tolerant mindset, no longer clinging to the past, nor overly worrying about the uncertain future. They live fully in the present, enjoying every peaceful moment with family, friends, and the simple pleasures of life. In moments of quiet, the aged heart has the chance to turn inward and face itself. It is when old wounds, regrets, and silent pains that seem to have fallen asleep are stirred again. But instead of avoiding or resisting, the elderly choose to listen, understand, and forgive. They know that no one is perfect, everyone makes mistakes, and everyone has hurt others and themselves. Pain, when faced with tolerance and acceptance, gradually dissipates like mist before the wind. A heart that has gone through many years knows what loss and separation are, and has also known gratitude for happiness and love. Those memories do not make them weak. On the contrary, they help them mature and become stronger in facing life's challenges. They realize that happiness does not lie in grand things, but sometimes simply in a warm meal with family, the laughter of grandchildren, or a leisurely afternoon stroll in the garden. The tranquility of old age is not loneliness or sadness, but a time for the heart to recover, for the soul to find balance after storms. It is also when people have the opportunity to reflect on the meaning of life and the true values they have pursued. They understand that all success, status, and wealth will fade over time. Only love and compassion remain forever. Therefore, they learn to give more, share more with those around them, expecting nothing in return, only seeking inner peace. Rich experiences make the elderly more sensitive to the pain of others. They are easily moved by difficult circumstances and empathize with the mistakes of the young. Because they have stumbled, tasted helplessness, and longed for forgiveness. Thus, they become a strong spiritual support for their descendants, inspiring and encouraging the next generation to cherish life and overcome difficulties without losing heart. Perhaps the greatest beauty of old age is calmness and patience in all situations. They do not rush to judge, do not lose temper when facing conflicts, nor easily get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. They choose to listen, observe, understand, and patiently wait. Life experience helps them realize that everything will pass. Only human kindness remains. Instead of arguing or anger, they choose forgiveness and letting go to maintain harmony and lighten their souls. Old age is also a time for people to reconnect with their core values. After many years chasing fame and money, they finally realize that simplicity and sincerity are what truly give life meaning. They spend more time with family, friends, personal hobbies, and trips down memory lane. They live more slowly, savoring small moments that they might have once carelessly missed. In the quiet moments of late afternoon, when all the sounds of life gradually fade, the elderly often let their minds wander. They remember loved ones who have passed, their childhood, and the brilliant days of youth. Those memories, whether happy or sad, become an indispensable part of their journey of growth. Sometimes they smile at themselves, proud to have lived a full life, despite inevitable stumbles, always knowing how to stand up and move forward. Also, in those quiet moments, the aged heart learns to be grateful for life. Grateful for those who have accompanied them. Grateful for challenges that made them stronger. Grateful even for losses that taught them to cherish what they have. They understand that each day lived, being healthy, seeing the smiles of loved ones, hearing birds sing, and sensing the fragrance of flowers and grass are priceless gifts life offers. Having nearly completed life's journey, people no longer fear death, but see it as a natural part of existence. They accept the finiteness of life, and therefore cherish every moment of being. They wish to depart peacefully, leaving their descendants not only material possessions, but more importantly, spiritual values and precious life lessons accumulated throughout their lives. Old age is not an end, but a new beginning on the journey back to oneself. It is when people can let go of burdens and worries to live more lightly and peacefully. They learn to love themselves, take care of their health, and enjoy joy from small things. They are also more open-hearted toward others, ready to forgive mistakes and welcome those who once hurt them. In conversations with grandchildren, the elderly often recount old stories, lessons, and experiences they have gone through. Through each tale, they pass on to the next generation faith, resilience, and gratitude for life. They hope their descendants will live better, love and cherish one another, and overcome difficulties without losing hope. It can be said that the heart of old age is like a treasure chest containing many precious things: patience, tolerance, and unconditional love. It is the motivation for them to continue living happily, healthily, and meaningfully for themselves and the community. Although life changes and time passes quickly, these values remain eternal, becoming a warm flame for generations to come. And though there are sometimes sadness and moments of loneliness, the elderly no longer fear them. They learn to accept all emotions as an essential part of life. They find joy in silence, happiness in simplicity, and above all, they are grateful to have lived, to have loved, and to have been forgiven. Old age, with all its experiences, memories, and profound lessons, is the most beautiful phase of life. It is when people reach fulfillment in their souls, know how to accept and forgive, love and share, and enjoy every peaceful moment with loved ones. And in that stillness, the aged heart continues to beat, continuously spreading love like a deep and profound melody, resonating forever in the endless flow of time. As one enters old age, each morning upon waking is a clearer feeling of the peaceful rhythm of time. No longer rushing or competing like in youth, the elderly heart learns to dwell in each moment, savoring the sweetness of the present. They spend time watching the sparkling sunlight on the trees in front of the house, listening to the birds singing, the gentle wind brushing through silver hair, realizing that happiness is actually very simple, found in the smallest things. Old age is also a time to look back on the journey traveled with a forgiving eye and gratitude. Failures, losses, pains that once seemed insurmountable now remain only memories that help them mature and appreciate peaceful days. They no longer resent or torment themselves over things that cannot be changed, but learn to forgive and let go, so their hearts can be lighter. This acceptance makes the elderly soul deep, steady, ready to listen and empathize with others. In relationships with family and friends, the elderly heart becomes more attached and warm than ever. They find great joy in every family meal, in the affectionate eyes of grandchildren, in simple yet sincere greetings. For them, the presence of loved ones is a priceless gift, a source of motivation to overcome the difficulties of old age, from illness to loneliness. They understand that family love is the strongest spiritual support, a place where the heart can return to heal and find peace. Old age is also the time to pass on precious life values to the younger generation. Through experience, wisdom, and compassion, the elderly teach their descendants how to live sincerely, with gratitude, love, and sharing. They recount old stories, lessons learned from life, sowing seeds of kindness, perseverance, and resilience in the hearts of their grandchildren. Their presence is a vivid testament to the power of family love, selflessness, and sacrifice. Although age brings a weaker body and slower steps, the elderly soul never stops being moved by the beauty of life. They still passionately read a good book, tend to small flower pots, or stroll under the evening light to feel the changes of nature. Each passing day is treasured. They do not waste time on useless worries, but enjoy every moment of the present with all their heart. In the quietness of old age, the heart not only recovers, but continues to spread love. They are ready to open their arms to receive and share with those who need comfort and solace. Their tolerance, patience, and sincere affection become a warm light, guiding the next generation. Thus, old age is no longer a fear or sadness, but a beautiful journey to live slowly, deeply, and fully with oneself and loved ones. And as each day passes, the elderly heart still beats with love, steady before storms, quietly sending a message of peace and serenity. That is the most precious gift they leave behind. A heart that knows how to love, forgive, and cherish every moment of life.